This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. With me, promoter Eddie Hearn, which finished the press conference ahead of Lara Warrington 2 this weekend. Eddie, packed press conference here, head-to-heads, full tables. Almost felt like the old days, didn't it?
It does feel like the old days, and I hope that on Saturday it will feel like the old days as well. And I'm very excited. I feel a bit like a fan, really. I've been analysing the fights. You know, this new deal has given us the opportunity to put nights on like this, you know, and you've seen it in Liverpool as well with Smith Fowler in the card there. You'll see it at the O2, October the 30th, and I'm just excited to go back from a production level, from an atmosphere level, from a fight card level, every single level. We're back doing what we love to do, and this is just a small piece of it today where everyone is back enjoying themselves.
Josh has had some huge nights in his career. He's been a world champion, he's fought in stadiums. Given all that's on the line for him in his career, though, where does this rank among the biggest fights of his career?
I think it's the biggest fight of his career because it's a potential career ender, isn't it? I mean, if he loses on Saturday, yeah, he can fight again, he can move up in weight, but he doesn't want to do that. You know, he wants to go and rule the featherweight division. It's just unbelievable, the turn of events. You know, before COVID, we'd booked Headingley, we'd done a deal with Kanzu, he was going to fight for the Ring magazine title. COVID hit, you know, the opportunity came, we looked at Lara, the team accepted it, and it all came crashing down. And I remember sitting in the changing room that night, and I haven't worked with Josh for a while because obviously we left each other for a couple of years. It just didn't feel right. You know, I remember being in the changing room with Josh Warrington and the intensity and the noise outside, you could hear it beating through the walls. And I don't know, like, I thought, it was behind closed doors, there was no adrenaline, nothing. But you know, like Maurizio Lara says, he won that fight. He put in a great performance. And by the way, like, forgetting the shock, it was a great fight as well. Josh Warrington showed unbelievable balls in that fight. Unbelievable balls. He had to be nailed to the canvas to be beaten that night. But this is a different Josh Warrington. But this is probably a different Maurizio Lara. This is someone who's extremely confident. He's done it before. He thinks he's going to do it again. I'm very nervous about that fight. Very nervous. But that's what makes a big fight. That's what makes the excitement.
You said there is a different Maurizio Lara. I had him on Zoom last week, and out of nowhere he said to me he has no respect for Josh Warrington. He hopes he keeps to his word and retires after this fight. Very fired up, and he said he was unhappy with something Josh had said. Do you have any idea what on earth that was all about?
No, I think Josh made some comments about his own dad, and I think Maurizio thought he was talking about Maurizio's dad, who I don't even think he knows. But he's a serious dude, isn't he? You know what I mean? You know with Maurizio Lara, he ain't messing around. And same with Giovanni Straffon. Like, you know where these guys come from? It's tough, mate. Like, you know, people talk about in England, you know, they had it tough. You want to go to Mexico City and see some of these places. These are tough people. And now they've got the chance. But what they've got now is confidence. You know, they came over to the first fight. Yeah, I'm sure they were confident. But now they really believe. They've done it. Same with Giovanni. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of them. I always felt that Josh Warrington should be beating a Maurizio Lara. Josh Warrington was the best featherweight in the world. And Lara's not. He's a good, rugged, tough, hard-punching. But I felt he shouldn't be beating Josh Warrington. And now Josh has the opportunity to put it right in front of what will be an amazing crowd, an amazing atmosphere.
Eddie, I know we're limited for time today. As I mentioned, it's like the old days. We've got 100 people here to speak to you, so I'm going to just touch on the rest of the card. Ben Granados rescheduled, brilliant fight there. Maxi Hughes and Straffon, brilliant fight. Katie Taylor back in action as well. Talk us through the rest of the card, what we should be excited for.
Just a brilliant card. I mean, even early in the night, you got Jack Bateson against Garcia, you got Hobie Price against Zahid Hussein, you got Ebony Bridges against Gangloff, then you've got Maxi Hughes against Straffon. Brilliant fight. I think Ben Granados is a really good fight. You know, I mean, because we hype up Conor Ben, people say, oh, you know, that's a mismatch. This guy's boxed at a very, very high level in competitive fights. But Conor Ben, I believe, is a special talent. But I think this is going to be a really interesting, close fight and a brutal fight as well. Katie Taylor is Katie Taylor. Jennifer Han is a former world champion. She's the mandatory challenger for the IBF, a great fighter. She's actually a big lightweight as well. I think she's going to be hard to budge, and I think that would be a good fight too.
Just to touch on a few things away from the card, Eddie, because so much has happened in the last 24 hours. DAZN announced that the initial price of $199, the launch price has been moved to $7.99. That's what they settled on. From what you've seen, I'm sure you've taken it in. What's the response been like to that?
Pretty good. I mean, you know, you're always going to get inevitable moans when there's a price rise. I think if anyone didn't realise that the introductory price of $199 was going to go up, then I think they're lying. I think a lot of people felt it would be a $9.99 price rise. $7.99 is a tremendous price point. You know, you've got huge nights like this Saturday, of course Smith Fowler in that card, but the real key here is when you talk about the pay-per-view events, and I think this Saturday is a borderline one of those, but Dillon White at the O2 is 100% a pay-per-view fight every time he fights. That's £20. And I was having an argument with someone on Instagram yesterday about this, and he said, you know, I don't mind paying the pay-per-view at 20 quid. I went, well, that doesn't make sense, does it? I said, you're paying $7.99 for the same fight, but you're also getting a month full of other fights as well. So I think it's a tremendous price. I think it's great value. And watch on Saturday. You know, you will see on Saturday night the level that we are producing. From a TV production level to a fight card to absolutely everything we deliver. It's next level stuff. And to be honest with you, when I see the comments about other shows that people do, and then I see the comments about the shows we do, I wonder, why do we get treated so differently? The answer is because our expectation levels are on another level. And I'm a loudmouth, so people want to put it on me to produce the goods every time. Quite frankly, I do. But you can't compare what we're doing to anyone else. Show me any shows in the UK that are even close to the level, the production levels of what we're doing. Watch on Saturday night. Competition is great. You know, you saw, obviously, you got Frank Roy and Sky stuff yesterday. Mick Hennessy's still going. Like, this is great because you need competition to get out of bed in the morning. I've been winning for 10 years in this game. I ain't going to stop now, but I need people to push me and to keep driving me forward. And that's why I made this move to DAZN, because it was a fresh opportunity for me to keep changing the face of the sport and providing value for fight fans. So onwards and upwards, and we look forward to a great show on Saturday.
You mentioned the Sky deal there. I just wanted to get your reaction to the launch we saw yesterday, and also Adam Smith's comments on Anthony Joshua's future. If you could tell us a bit about where you feel his broadcasting future lies as well.
I think that the broadcast future with AJ, you know, that's to be discussed after the Usyk fight. That's his last fight with Sky. I think Adam said he thinks he'll be loyal to Sky. AJ's a very loyal guy, but he'll also make the right decisions with himself, with 258, with Freddie, and AJ will make the decision. Every broadcaster in the world wants Anthony Joshua, but we're focused on the fight. In terms of the announcement, I think it's great that Sky are staying in boxing in some capacity, and I think it's really good. You know, some fighters are now going to get opportunities that they probably wouldn't have with us, quite frankly. I mean, you know, you look at Huey, I think he was third or fourth fight down the card on his last fight against Whack. He now headlines. It is a great opportunity for him, and you know, I think it's brilliant that Sky are staying in boxing. They've got a strong heritage in boxing. There's a lot of people that work in that department. I'm glad they're still working and good people there, and you know, it's I think it's just good news that they stay in boxing.
Just a couple more before I let you go, Eddie. Dillon White, we know he's got the date. I asked Frank Smith what opponent we can expect, a Charles Martin maybe. He told me ask Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, who's Dillon White's opponent going to be?
We like Chris Arreola. I like that fight because, of course, Dillon wants to fight Andy Ruiz, and I think that'd be a good statement. I think it'd be a war as well. We'll see if he accepts the fight. And there's Jermaine Franklin. EBU just ordered Marco Hook as well for the European title. There's a few others, but October 30th is the date, and you're going to see another stacked card at the O2, and we got that out yesterday, and get ready to buy your tickets next week.
Final one, Eddie, before I let you go. We saw Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. I have said it a few times, I'm sorry, this is the last one. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, we saw them going back and forward. We also saw Devin Haney taking aim at the whole Reynoso stable. He said they're all on the juice. What was going through your head sitting watching that back and forward between them two?
I only saw it this morning because I think it was through the night. So, you know, I think as we've seen before on the Valdez stuff, let's see the truth come out. I'm sure they're going to, you know, go through that process. Don't really know too much about it. I wish Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia would just fight. You know what I mean? I mean, he's been the mandatory for Devin Haney. There's no point keep talking, just get in there and fight. And I think it's a great fight for the division. And we're working on Devin's next fight. Should be announced in the next couple of weeks. Got a call with him today to go through it all.
Eddie Hearn, thank you as always, speaking of Boxing Social.